Right, so a bit of a stretch for the hip flexor muscles. Now these are the muscles that run down the front of the thigh, where the thigh and the hip, or the thigh and the torso meet, and their job is to bring the hip into flexion or to bring the thigh up towards the torso. So our hip flexors are often very tight, especially if we sit in hip flexion a lot, so if you sit in a chair a lot. And one really good way to stretch them out is to do a lunge. Now there's ways that we can make this lunge work for us better, and I'm going to see if I can show you these. So you don't need to have a yoga mat. I don't have a yoga mat here, so I'm just here in my living room. So if you come into your lunge shape, so maybe you could do that from all fours, stepping, this is my right foot forward. And then it's up to you what you do with your hands. You might bring your hands down to the ground to support you. You might have your hands on your hips. So hands can be wherever feels most comfortable. The area we want to focus on is the front of the hip. So in order to get a stretch here, we need the fibers to be elongated. Now, one way we can do that is to take the hips and send them forward, which will provide a stretch along the front of the thigh where the hip flexors are. However, what we also might risk here is too much extension at the lumbar spine and a feeling of compression around the front leg. So for me, the right leg, often it will feel very compressed in that right thigh. So in order to get the same sensation or even a deeper sensation, but without having to dump the pelvis forward, from your shortened lunge, think about bringing the pubic bone up to the belly button. So we're not going to move the feet, we're not going to move the knees, but instead we're just going to take the pelvis into a tilt where the pubic bone is drawing up towards the belly button. From here, lightly squeezing the back glute. So for me in this lunge, it's the left glute. And then thinking about almost pressing the hip bone forward. This is all kind of happening isometrically. So there's no massive movement here. Instead, it's a drawing up of the pelvis or a tilting of the pelvis to lengthen the lower back and draw the pubic bone to the belly button to lengthen through the hip flexors. You should feel it as a deeper stretch in the front of the hip.